Okay, we are live. Hello, everybody. I am Victoria Grinman, and I am with Fusun Rynart. I am so excited to be here with you. Welcome, first and foremost.
Thank you very much, Victoria, for inviting me for this.
Of course. So I just want to give a little bit of a snack before we even dive in, because Fusun, you and I have known one another since the beginning of the pandemic. And
Yes.
you are an incredible person and a healer, and you work so much around energy, and you have a lot to say around that and confidence as it relates to women specifically. And I'm so excited to be here because I have some really important questions for you about all of that and how it pertains to our lives and our businesses.
I look forward to reply your questions. I don't even know what they are, but I'm sure I will find the answers for it. Thank you very much. I fully agree that confidence is very, very important in our life, in every area of our life. But it all starts with the energy versus the vibration, because we are made of energy. Everything is energy in this universe, and we interact with people based on our vibration. If our vibration is low, we are coming in contact with people with lower vibration. And if our vibration is higher, we are energetic, more positive, then we come in contact with such kind of people. And slowly, slowly, we go into confidence, because then if you are together with positive people, energetic people, it gives you more motivation and you feel more confident as well. But of course, this topic starts all the way. You are a family therapist, you know it as well. It all starts within the family already, within school time, education, our family members, maybe later on in relationships, the experience we have. And that has an effect in, like I said, every area of our life.
Mm-hmm. You just said some very important things related to energy, vibration, and the kind of, I would say, I've been doing my own work around how do I feel, right? We think so much about having the right mindset, having the right affirmations, having the right mantras, but what about how do I feel today? What is the vibration that I'm emanating out into the universe? And therefore, what is the vibration that I'm attracting, right? Whether it's opportunities or people. So let's go back for a moment, because people watching are thinking, okay, isn't this about confidence? And what does this have to do with confidence? And how do you define confidence?
Confidence is actually knowing your self-worth. That's how I would define self-confidence. When you are not having the feeling of self-worth, when you don't trust your abilities, your existence on this earth, let's say, how you stand, how you look, how you feel. This is not only from outside, it's not only out appearance, it's also from within. Inside, how do you feel? It's energy, vibration, emotion, the balance between internal world and the external world, and all these aspects are building up your confidence. But confidence is such a huge topic and very wide, very broad. We can discuss it till the next morning. But unfortunately, it's affecting us in our relationships. It's affecting us on the work floor, especially later on, we will talk about it. The reason why I dive deeper into this topic is that I wanted to empower women, especially who are trying to do something in business world, to have their self-confidence built very strongly, so that they will be unstoppable and they are not going to be stopping when there's an obstacle coming in front of them by people or by the universe itself.
I'm smiling because I just had yesterday evening a conversation with a very dear friend. And one of the things I shared with them, and, she's a woman, I said, you are so smart, capable, ready, willing, and able, seemingly, to just be a force. And you are successful. However, every time something comes in your way, it acts as a deterrent from you actually moving forward. And so much of the confidence piece is a part of that. So I guess my question is, how do you, and you mentioned the past and how that contributes to how someone might be functioning now. How do you work with people around, like, where do you even begin in your own work? Where do you even begin?
Yes. So first of all, I'm also an energy healer. I always check where people stand. What kind of emotions are running them? What kind of saboteurs do they interact with, which is blocking them from whatever they want to achieve? So first we dive into their energetic body and I do an emotional check. So I check if they are balanced, what kind of problems they had, and where it is coming from. Like, is it the family? Is it because they had a bad experience or whatsoever? We start there. And then when I dive deeper in, besides the energetic part, first of all, I start diagnosing which saboteurs are active in their lives. And how can we control those saboteurs? What does saboteur mean? We all have saboteurs, and our number one saboteur is judge. We are the king and queen of judging ourselves and judging other people as well.
I know nothing about
that. Okay.
I'm just kidding. Okay. I'm all
yes,
about.
Yeah, I understand.
Right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
And then another one is controller. Some of us are control freaks. We want to control everything. And when we see that things are getting out of hand, according to our understanding of getting out of hand, then we start stressing ourselves. And then some of us are perfectionists. It's never good enough. Then they start feeling like they are not enough. So there are several saboteurs. And when we are replacing them into the sage version of ourselves, and I'm showing them all kinds of tricks and tools, very simple tools, very effective. They are lifelong. And when they start learning them in my course, then they can use it anywhere, anytime, whenever it is needed. And when they are able to control their emotions, when they are able to control their stress levels, and plus on top of that, know why they are here, or if they are working for a company, or if they want to start up a business, what is the value they are bringing in the market? Because we all have a talent. We all specifically have different talents. And if somebody is hiring them, or if they are capable of starting a certain business, it's because they have one of those skills, one of those talents. And sometimes they don't even know it themselves, or they are unsure. And then I show them the way how they can be full of confidence that they are there for a reason with whatever they are bringing on the table. Doesn't matter what kind of business they are in or not. And if they are not businesswomen, because later on we will talk about it, I think my course is for female entrepreneurs and for women who want to start up a business. But it can be that you're a woman, you have all kinds of ideas, but you don't trust yourself. You don't have confidence because your saboteurs are so active. They always show you the excuses why you shouldn't start. So they will all learn about these kind of things so that they will be motivated to move forward. And I want to share something. I share this everywhere with anybody. I think I love it. Once I listened to Oprah Winfrey, and she told me that when I started with this course 2 years ago, I made a research. And the research was showing that 85% of the world population has issues with self-confidence. 85% is a big number. And with Oprah Winfrey, she was saying that she has interviewed, millions of, let's say, important people, presidents, gurus, authors, whatever, whoever is important in the world. And she said at the end of each interview, there was one thing all of them did. They leaned forward and they asked Oprah, was it good? So they weren't even like getting up from the chair, I did great, I'm this, I'm that, I know it, I know what I'm talking about, I did great. But they leaned forward and they always asked, was I good enough? Was it good? She said they always want assurance that yes, you did very well, you are very good. So somewhere in us, there is this hole that says, maybe you are not confident enough, maybe you are not enough. We are all faced with that question, am I enough? Am I enough? Am I confident enough?
Yeah. I love that story. Thank you for sharing that. And
No
I
problem.
relate because sometimes when I interview people, or even I am on certain platforms, I say, "How was it? How did it go?" I know it was good, but I want to hear, was it
Other
okay
people
enough?
saying it to you. Yes.
And so I hear so many beautiful nuggets from what you're sharing, is that it's about understanding your purpose in the world. It's about learning how to, when you're out of alignment, right, with
Mm-hmm.
the vibrational, that you'd like to emanate, right? Like how to
Mm-hmm.
actually manage yourself. And I'm also hearing that it's about being secure and not doubting what's going on for you. That's a lot. And and then the other question I have related to all of that is, why women? Because you focus on women, and
Mm-hmm.
this doesn't, this affects everybody. But what is it
True.
about women, specifically women entrepreneurs, that you found really, really need this kind of support on their journey?
Yes. So I started with this, especially throughout the pandemic, because during the pandemic, especially in the beginning when it started, like you say, it wasn't only women, it was for everybody. We were all scared
Mm,
because we had the fear of unknown. Nobody knew what's going to happen. Nobody could see 2 years later that things would be more or less more under control.
yeah.
And people started dying, and so much was happening. People started losing their jobs, or people were locked at homes and they had to deal with their partners, with their kids. So much stress, so much emotional situation going on. And some men, it was also for men, they were losing their confidence as well because they thought, okay, or I'm getting bankrupt. I don't know if I can stand on my feet again, or I lost my job. Can I find another job throughout this period?
Mm,
And they were also suffering. But I'm a woman myself, and I have been in corporate business myself for more than 20 years. And I had this heart's calling that I shouldn't sit in those companies. I should go out there and do something for the humanity, for people, with my energy healing, with my coaching, with my experience from these 20, 25 years of corporate background. And when I started working with a good friend of mine in between time, who is a branding manager, he said that you are a perfect example because with a heartbeat, you left that important career that you spent more than 20 years, started on your own. And this takes a lot of courage and confidence. And
mm,
now you are standing tall here, full of confidence, and you are ready to help out other people. And he said, I'm sure there are so many women out there who would like to model you, who would like to do what you are doing, like leave maybe a miserable job that they are not enjoying to be in and start on their own. Or maybe they want to work in another department, or maybe they want to apply to become a manager, or whatever it is.
mm-hmm.
So I was thinking, oh, that makes sense because you have to walk your talk when you are doing business. I said to myself, I'm a corporate woman with corporate experience. Now I'm starting for myself. I'm fully confident that I can do this. I'm full of it, energy, motivation. I can motivate people. I was so hyper, and I'm still hyper so far. So that was never over. So I said, yeah, it makes so much sense. I think this is the best thing to do, that I can go and support women. And I was also recently watching a TV series. It was the first episode, which really inspired me to help more women. Because in this, I'm going to tell it shortly. This beautiful, successful, educated woman was having a board meeting whereby the rest was all men. And she had this project, international project, and she was ready with all the documentation, reports, and details of the project, that yes, the company is ready to do this and they can succeed with it. And all the rest of these board members, they were like, honey, things are not so easy as they seem to be. When we were young, we were also so ambitious, but things are not going to be so easy like you think and you expect. let's put that aside. And the girl really was fighting with all these men to be able to bring up this project on the table, which was even discussed before, but they pushed her so much to the edge, and she was having tears in her eyes, which I didn't like. I said, no, you are the strong woman. You shouldn't have those tears in front of these men. Go and cry after you leave the door, but not there. So you have to be more confident. You have to trust yourself. You have to trust what you prepared. And you should be able to say on the table, no, I know this is going to work, and let's give a chance and let's try this. And that girl started changing everything in her life. And that's really sort of pissed me off. You know, I said, if I were her, I would be like, damn, no, we will do this, you know. So I said, I'm on the right path, and I really want to help female entrepreneurs, women in business, women who wants to start up a business. We need to learn how to control our emotions. This is so important because women are, compared to men, maybe, I don't want to generalize anybody, but we are more sensitive. We have this motherhood instinct within us. We don't need to have a kid to have this, but we have that instinct within us. So we have more mercy, we are more nurturing, we try to be more kind, not as harsh as many men, let's say, out there. And therefore, when something is happening or there's an obstacle, emotionally, we are affected quite easily. And I try to help them with this as well, by showing them the tools, by doing some certain things and giving them a roadmap and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. You know, we talk so often just in my circle and in networking and people I work with about how women, as women, we're already doing so much. And often in our world, especially when we're talking about business, and I don't want to generalize either, but we're talking about business or a very masculine sort of energy dominated, you know, atmosphere, there's always a push to do more, to do more. And I always say, we don't really need to do more. It's a matter of understanding how to harness all of the energy, all of the emotions, and utilize them in a way that is more effective for us as women.
Yeah.
And when you were sharing about that, what comes up for me, and I would love for you to, you know, you to touch on this, is what would you say to women who are listening and they're thinking, that's for another woman, that's not really, this isn't really for me. Yeah, I'm not so happy where I am. I do have ideas of something I want to do, but I don't see how, you know, I'm okay where I am. You know, sometimes we want to just kind of be safe and not
comfort zone.
Yeah. So what do you say to those women? How do you even begin this journey if you've already got this, you know, stagnant sort of stop in front of you?
Well, actually, if they will be saying like, I'm not that kind of woman, I'm okay with where I am, I would leave them where they are because they are okay with where they are.
Okay.
But if they are emotionally feeling really imbalanced in their life, then they don't need the course, but then they will need my emotional healing support, because that's my number one core business, as you know it as well. I'm very good in emotional balancing and emotional healing, and that is for any kind of women, in business, out of business, housewife, mother, single, divorced, whatever choice they made in their life. So if we can put them back into balance emotionally, then they will start seeing their working life, maybe if they have, or relationship, or their household, or the outside world. They will start seeing everything with a different eye, with a different perspective.
I love
so
it.
If they are unhappy, that's another question. If they are unhappy and they think, I think it's time for me to change, then I step in. But if they are unhappy and they say, you know what, I would like to continue suffering, that's their choice. I'm not going to say, no, but you shouldn't suffer. Everything is a choice we make in life. If we are unhappy with the choices that we made, it means it's time to change those choices. It's time to make new choices. And sometimes the universe pushes us to the edge. We don't get the messages, we don't get the signs, and we are pushed more with all kinds of difficult challenges. And then when we hit to the pain, and that pain really starts hurting us, then we say, okay, you know what? I tried every corner of my comfort zone, but this is enough. So now it's time for me to do something and take action. Then I start helping them out. But you cannot help someone if they insist on staying wherever they are, and they are even afraid to confess it to themselves that it's time to change.
Yeah.
It's very important. Sometimes we are scared to confess it to ourselves.
Yeah. I love that. I would love for you to touch a little bit. We talked about business, but what about love and relationships and friendships? And how does self-confidence, I can almost answer the question myself, but I would love to know more specifically, how does self-confidence and knowing, just being able to trust your internal compass, what does that have to do with more fulfillment inside of relationships?
Well, if you know your self-worth, and if you love yourself really enough, then you are not going to tolerate to be in a challenging relationship, which is pushing you to the border. Because then you will be fully confident and aware. Awareness is also very important, that that person is not the right fit for you, and you are not born into this world to suffer, that this is not the end of the world if you finish this or start up a new one, or maybe you give a break and the universe will automatically will bring you the right person. But it all starts with self-worth, which is leading to confidence. If I'm confident enough, if I know my self-worth, if I love myself, then I'm not going to tolerate anybody to hurt me. I will say, okay, you know what? I think there's a problem here. Let's talk. Because communication can sort out so much.
Yes.
It's like this 5 love languages, Maybe you are the touchy person, and the other one is the auditory who needs to hear things. So the best thing is first to try to have a communication. Everybody plays their cards open on the table. And if there is no way out, then you say, you know what? I love myself way too much to handle this stress anymore. I'm out. I'm out, like Joseph says, I'm out.
I'm out. And on the flip side, some people need the courage and confidence to stay in, because I know, people, friends who always leave. They're like, I'm out, peace out, I'm done. But sometimes we need the courage and confidence to stay and work through whatever is going on. So can it work the other way too, where, if for that person it's a matter of tolerating, whatever it is that they have to work through? Could it work the other way as well?
I think at a certain level it might, because you are also a student of Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins always says, just try to treat people like the first day of the relationship. If they are taking out the trash, go and be joyful and thank them and appreciate them, rather than thinking that, yeah, this is just a standard thing and he does this every day. And then you try to give in from yourself to show that you have good intentions, you are willing to continue, but some things need to change. You either try to show this with your behaviors, or, like I said, with a communication. And if the other side is not seeing the positive signals, the change in you, maybe, because sometimes they can realize that, hey, wait a minute, she used to get pissed very quickly, but now she's sort of like under control. She used to scream at me a lot. She's not screaming anymore. She's so calm and quiet. What is going on? So you might start creating a difference. And in order to do that, they can again get some support with the energy healing. Because if you are in a toxic relationship or a challenging relationship, that so much has happened and you don't feel well anymore, you are covered with all that negativity, all that toxin, we can always clean you up, wash you up, and then prepare you, balance your emotions, and then you are ready to go and dive in again to show the positive aspects of your site. And then it will be up to that other partner to see the difference or be blind and not see anything. And that will also show you a lot from the relationship, how valuable this relationship is for the other partner as well. Maybe for him or for her or whatever gender they are, it's already finished in their head, and whatever you do is not helping. That's also a possibility. You might start giving in from yourself. You show a lot of love, you show a lot of attention, you try to pay attention what he likes, what he doesn't like, and give. You cannot always give because you need to take, otherwise you lose your balance. And then you sit and try to communicate, and if there is miscommunication or no communication at all, then those are also signals. So we can always try. It's not like from the first incident or challenge we say I'm out. You of course try to stay. If there is love, so much can be sorted, but it needs to come from both sides, not only from one side.
Yeah, I love that. I love that so much. And one of the things that I'm curious if you can touch on when you work with people. Sorry for the sound. Yeah. When you let me throw this toy. When you work with people, and you're talking about working from their, working a little bit on their past and preparing their energy and preparing their emotions. What does that look like? And what can people look forward to in working with you? Is it something you're doing, or is it something that you're teaching women to do, when you're not with them?
Okay, so there are several different things that I'm busy with, as you know it. So when we talk about balancing their emotions, having an energetic cleansing, like removing their negative energy or the toxins or maybe traumas from the past or bad experiences from relationships or whatever, maybe it's much, much deeper from their childhood, then I do the work, and I do the work without touching people. Therefore, I'm in Holland or US or Japan, it doesn't matter where I am, it doesn't matter where they are. I can work with them remotely without touching them. And then you know what a typical session looks like. But after the session, like the session is normally half an hour, we start exchanging experiences, what they experienced throughout the session, what I experienced throughout the session. And then based on the topic, based on the person, I always give some tips and tricks and tools that they can do themselves in order to keep up with that energy, with that motivation, and so forth. And the courses that I do, like one of them is the self-confidence course, that's a complete different approach than just a healing session. That is purely everything that they can use when they say bye-bye to me after 4 weeks. That's a lifelong thing that they can use and maybe recommend to other people and share it with some people who are in need and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
What a gift. And I personally have been a recipient of your healing, and it's been wonderful. And Fusun, I have a surprise for you. There's someone here that actually can speak to exactly what it's like to be in your Lisa, welcome.
Hi, Fusun. Hi, Victoria.
Hello. Surprise. What a nice surprise. I'm so happy to see you.
You too, both of you.
Yes.
How is life?
Life is amazing. It's amazing. Yeah.
I am so happy that you're here, Lisa.
Yeah.
You actually, Fusun, surprise, and Lisa took your confidence course a few months back, if I remember correctly. And we thought, how wonderful would it be to just have Lisa share a little bit about what it was like to actually work with you, and, what has life been like after the course?
Sure, yes. I would love to share that. I actually shared with so many different entrepreneurs, and I think one of them joined Fusun's course after I took it. What I say, so I remember I took it the last year around this time in April. At that time, I joined this course purely because we were in a lockdown, not too many things happening, and I was eager to be part of something. And I think that's to balance that kind of anxiety and stress and not knowing what future holds for all of us, even for myself as well. So that it was the reason, sorry to tell you that was the reason I joined it. I didn't think that I wasn't confident, but holy moly, those 4 weeks really changed my life. And I'm not saying this as just to promote, but I've been taking so many courses. The difference between this one and the other one is that it's not because you've learned, you've known. It is that who you are become part of you. It's not like you take 4 weeks course, you need practice, of course, but then after you said you learned, I know how to be confident. No, it's part of me. It's a part of me that who I am already. And since then, I look at my business, my intimate relationship, and even my relationship with my daughter and with all the people around me, and differently. And I think that different is not all of a sudden like let's break up. It doesn't work for me. It's not like that. It's when that moment happens, and you know how to choose, how to make the right choice for you, and then not in a selfish way. Because if I made that choice for me, I will show up differently for that relationship. So that is a really the major difference between this course or the 4 weeks courses that I took with Fusun, different from any other courses. So for that reason, I was so happy. I think it was a calling for me to just take that course, and I expected much more, and then I wanted.
Thank you for sharing. I'm so happy to see you here. I'm not even listening. I'm just looking at you and feeling the feeling like I'm so happy she's here. What a big surprise. Thank you, Victoria, for this surprise.
Oh,
it's so nice.
I think from Lisa, from what you shared, I'm so sorry for the barking. Fana feels your beautiful energy.
Oh,
I wish that she would come closer so I can grab her. But what I'm also feeling is what Fusun just said is what we started this conversation with, which I think is the most important part, which is our emotional management of ourselves and our vibration. And you don't even have to speak. You can just feel where you are. Like when someone says, "How are you?" often you can tell if they're off, or you can just tell because of what they're, how they're vibrating in this world. And you're just radiating, Lisa. So
Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Because when we spoke to Lisa a couple of months after, she was saying that I'm even limiting the course by naming it self-confidence course. She said, because you are putting much more in it than only self-confidence, because we have the energy cleansing, we have the energy healing, we have hypno inductions, meditations. There is so much going on there. Maybe some people might think, oh, they are just talking about confidence in the course, and I don't know if it is a boring thing to listen to 4 weeks long, but there is so much else going on in there. We are diagnosing the saboteurs via a test, and then going deeper in those saboteurs and doing some nice performance meditations. And I'm gifting the participants with a short 20 minutes healing session individually, separate from the course. So there is so much going on in that self-confidence course. It's all about empowering the women.
Right. That's exactly what I shared with Fusun. It's not about confidence. It's not about the outside feeling confidence. It's about feeling that inside your core, you know you're worth it. and you know
Yes.
that you can do it. It's not trusting about other people, it's mostly trusting yourself. And from that place, I think after that course, over the past year or less than a year, there's so many changes and shifting, and in actually all areas of my life, and even business, that we took a big move and coordinate with an Indian software company, started putting the products out there on the market. So there's it
SIBO?
is exactly simple. Yes, yes, exactly. I felt like it's not about confidence. That word cannot even describe the whole class of 4 weeks. I think that's his, yeah. So that's I don't know if I'm saying
I'm
it's
still
correct.
waiting for the right name for the course from you.
And I think actually, as I'm thinking about what you're saying, this is a matter of getting more in touch with your inner truth and being more comfortable with, like when our bodies are screaming something and we don't listen, it's usually because, and Fusun, we've had so many conversations, it's like, listen to yourself, right? And then it's kind of removing the blind spots of why aren't we listening to ourselves? Because we are our greatest guides. And what you're saying, I think that the title draws people in, but I think what you get in working together is so much more, like Lisa said. And that's incredible.
Thank you. And I want to add something which you mentioned, when you don't listen. If you continue not listening, the signals, the messages you are receiving from the universe or wherever you would call it, they will make you listen. You know what will happen? In the end, you will be in bed. You will become physically sick.
And that's what we call dis-ease, right? We're not going to get too deeply into it, but when you are not in ease, your body is in dis-ease, and that's where we get disease. And I mean, there's so much science and there's so much behind stress, right? Like how stress is created in our body when we're not listening to what we need, whether it's emotionally or physically. And that is, in working with you, Fusun, and others who really focus on vibration and energy and emotions, that has been the biggest shift for me as well. And to be able to share that with others, like how do you align with yourself? How do you even know what to align with, first and foremost? And then how to get into alignment. And then when you're out of alignment with yourself, how to, correct
get
course.
back into balance. Yes.
This is incredibly important.
There is a truth that is called law of attraction, right? What you give out there is what you will attract. And that law of attraction works for everybody. Either you believe in it or you don't believe in it.
Yeah.
If someone is always negative in business, in personal relationships, in friendships, then how can they expect that there will be so many happy people around, or they will start feeling great? They won't, because the energy, the vibration they are using is a very low energy level, very low vibration level. So they are not going to attract too many happy, positive, cheerful people around them. They will attract people like them. Then they will sit around and talk about how they handle their stress or their depression, or which pills they are using.
Right. Sorry, go ahead, Lisa.
I was just want to mention one thing about there are always two of us inside of us. One is so eager, want to survive. The other one, it is true, is my true self. And I think the course who really that allowed me at any moment to know who I really are, who I really am. And I notice, okay, this is the Lisa, want to please other people, want to survive, want to be liked. That's my saboteur. But at the same time, I know that I'm not going to serve myself or even serve others. If I'm sitting here with both of you and just want to try to please you, not tell you the truth, not show true self, it's not the service to you too as well. So for that reason, I think that course really helped me to find out, identify the true self, myself.
So happy to hear that. Thank you for sharing that.
I love it. The other day, I want to share this because it resonates so much. I have, many neighbors, and I walk my dog. So, you meet many people. And a neighbor said to me, and, she's a more elderly person, I try to hang out with young people. It keeps me young. And she says, what do you do? Because you're already young. I said, well, even if I was older, I would try to just hang out with happy people. What age they are. And she said, really? I said, yes, because even young people, it doesn't matter, but it's the vibration, right, that we give off, and how do we want to feel, and who do we want to be around? And so she kind of went, oh, okay, that makes sense, right? So what a gift, Fusun, that this is for others. And I'm looking forward to having other people on later on after they've taken your course to see what they've gotten. Can you share a little bit about what it is that you're offering? And Lisa, if you want to fill in any holes of what it felt like as a participant afterwards, that would be great. But I would love to know, what are you offering, Fusun? How long is it? Where can they reach you? All of those things.
Okay, so the course is 4 weeks long. Once a week, we get together live on Zoom. And if people cannot make it to the live version of it, then I send everybody the recording via email. And that's going to be lifelong, so they can always watch the recordings after the live course. And 4 weeks, 2 hours each week, in total 8 hours. And like I said, I have several bonuses for the first sign-ups. They get a separate healing session from me, 20 minutes, like a teaser, like a demo, but so much already happens in those 20 minutes. And then the course is not really for big groups, because I want to focus everybody as much as possible. Then we have very simple weekly assignments. They shouldn't think like, oh, I don't like homework, I don't want that much stuff. It's just very basic stuff, like they will get a saboteur test, which will take them maybe 10 minutes maximum to diagnose their own saboteurs. And then sometimes they will get other assignments about confidence, and the rest will all happen throughout the course itself, the session itself. And how they can find me, we can share the link of the sign-up course. The sign-up is very easy via the landing page. They just go and say, sign up, I'm in, and then the rest will take care of itself. And I have my website called lifehealingacademy.com. And on LinkedIn, I'm under my own name, Fusun Rynart, if they want to find me via LinkedIn. Same goes for Facebook. And for Instagram, I have both of them, Life Healing Academy or Fusun Rynart. Fusun Rynart is the Turkish version. Life Healing Academy is the English version on Instagram. The rest is all English. So that's how they can reach me out. LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, or directly via the landing page. And if they sign up, they will get a special promotion, because we still have several weeks to go. I don't know if it is appropriate to mention those kind of things, but so they can just read the details on the landing page.
Amazing. Amazing. And Lisa, do you have anything to add about your own experience as a participant? Just logistically, what I'm thinking would be great, the homework or the things in between. What did that feel like for you? And was it doable for someone who's busy? You were in relationship, you had a business, you had all these things going on. Was this doable for you?
Right. I think it's the assignment is definitely doable. And I think the most importantly that you plan ahead, you just cut a segment of your time each week to do those assignments. And some weeks I didn't do it, I have to say, but the weeks I did do the assignment, and it helped me a lot when I step into that two hours courses. And it's not super long, and those assignment is not like it's a self-reflection too, and to identify your own saboteur and do some tests is fun. And then I realized, what is that who I have been? That's give me a lot of a revelation on myself.
And I also forgot to add, every week we have Q&A for the people that wants to ask certain questions after the weekly course. So then they book a slot of 15 minutes with me. Then they can ask all their questions, and that's individual per person for the participants. Then I also reply their questions or any challenges they are going through. But it's a very interactive course. So we interact with all the participants. We have breakout rooms. They can also interact with each other. We have a WhatsApp group, so they can, after the course even, they can always stay in contact. Maybe they keep each other accountable for certain things. We have a Facebook group also. They can just go and share their videos, their pictures, maybe their achievements or their goals or whatever they want to share. It's an open platform for the course participants to use as much as they want. And another thing is, so many people joined to this course. I have done it 5 times so far, because they couldn't do Facebook Lives. They wanted to do Facebook Lives, but they didn't trust themselves. They were afraid of live, being in front of the camera. And after the course, they all went and did Facebook Lives.
That is huge. And can I just say, as we're wrapping up this conversation, for anyone that's watching that knows me and just is here because they're part of the community, this is, you know, aside from knowing you personally, Fusun, and doing some of this work and beyond, and it's been such a door opening for me to really look inside even more so I can live in my truth and be happy, right? This is exactly the kind of work that is important to do. You know, when couples come to me, or like I'm working with families or children, it's the relationship with yourself that opens the door to really being able to be a force of change, or channeling yourself in relationships with others. And this is exactly the kind of offerings that I think we need in the world. I'm very much backing it and behind it. I think it's really important. And so, you know, if anyone's watching and you're interested in learning more, please do reach out to Fusun. I think this will be a really incredible experience. And thank you so much for being here, Lisa and Fusun.
Yeah.
This was a really wonderful conversation.
Thanks a lot, Lisa. Thank you so much for being here. Indeed, this was a big surprise for me. I love it. I love surprises when they are good.
When they're good, right? Thank you. It's so happy to be here. So happy. And also, it's not because Fusun, because of all the ladies takes this course and we became friends, and we continue doing business with each other, or even some hard times. You know, these people know you the best. And yeah,
sharing experiences with each other. Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Well, everybody, we will see you soon, and thank you again so much.
Thanks a lot.